Speaking of losing our minds, let's go to NXT. Corey Graves. Corey Graves was on NXT last night. Now I didn't watch the full episode. I just went straight to the main event. But for those who don't know, Corey Graves is no longer on SmackDown. He's no longer on Raw or any of the pay-per-views. They decided to switch him out and throw him to NXT. Now, needless to say, he was not too happy about that. And because of that, you haven't seen him all year round, all year long until yesterday, and he had legit griping and was really upset at WWE to the point where when he got to Orlando, NXT said go home. Or the WWE officer telling you need to go. Now, I would say this with Corey. And this will tie into Femi and Eddy Thorpe main event. Theodore Long pretty much said this, and I agree. You're on contract. Regardless where they put you, you're still getting paid. Stop complaining and go back to work. And I agree with that. Yes, we all have dreams and aspirations and goals where you want to go within your business. That's the difference between a job and a career. But in moments like this, you have to remain professional and you have to get to work. Because a lot of people will think this is him getting depromoted from SmackDown or Raw all the way down to NXT. Albeit he owns his own wrestling company, I don't believe Booker T takes this as a downgrade or anything like that. So you need to, and let's tie it to Femi and Eddy Thorpe. You need to reunite your passion, and I think NXT is the best place to go because I didn't see the whole show. I will watch it tomorrow. But if you saw how Corey Graves was into that last match, you know that was the real Corey Graves. You know his passion for wrestling is still there. And it's something about NXT that does that. Like, I may not know any of these wrestlers, but there's something about NXT that if my spirits of wrestling is down, like it is for Monday Night Raw, NXT will get me right back up. So I'm glad Corey Graves came to work. I'm glad I saw what I saw, and because of that, and we'll get into Femi and Eddy Thorpe real quick later. But what's your take on the Corey Graves situation?
I'm gonna tell you straight up. There was another wrestler who I love to death, which is Stone Cold Steve Austin. This situation reminded me of the Stone Cold Steve Austin situation, right? Mm-hmm. And there was something that said by who was it that talked to Stone Cold Steve Austin to get him back?
JR.
And JR said something to Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I was listening to what JR had said to him and how Stone Cold replied to it. But then I heard Stone Cold talk to Vince McMahon. And Vince McMahon, because who Vince is, he told him the hard truth. You went into business for yourself. And you never go into business for yourself in this business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Corey, right? Corey.
Yep.
Corey went into business for himself. I understand you may not like where you are. That's fine. You still have a job. As a matter of fact, you might even get better opportunities with where you are based on your performance. But because you're in your feelings and you're going into business for yourself, you're not thinking about the next man. You're not thinking about the guy who has to go out there and wrestle with you. That's how he get paid too. You're not thinking about the other wrestlers that's on that card who need you to show up and do your job. You're not thinking about the business. You're not thinking about the workers. You're not thinking about the people who's doing the lighting, doing the ring setup. You're not thinking about the customers. You're not thinking about the people who are working. You yourself, sir, went into business for yourself. I don't personally. I'm glad that they brought him back. I'm glad that he came to work. But at the same time, you're going to go into business for yourself. Keep that same energy, because if you do it once just because you didn't like the setup, you'll do it again. And if something that's big on the line and you're going to go into business for yourself, how can we rely on you? But I'm glad that he came back, and I'm glad that he actually came to work and did his job. But don't let that happen again, though.
Right. That's fair. That is a fair assessment. That's a fair statement. And it's like, this is no hard feelings to Corey Graves. I like the guy. I don't I remember when ESPN did a special on him and Xavier Woods, for that matter, about transitioning from being a wrestler to being a commentator, how that conversation went. So I like it. I like Corey Grace. And like I said, we're so passionate about our job, we get caught up into it. We have to remember to be professionals at the end of the day. And it's not like me, I'm telling Corey Grace how to do his job. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with professionalism. And but don't get it twisted. We understand when you're so wrapped up in something, your passion gets tied into it, and when it doesn't go your way, you kind of look at things different. So I understand why he did what he did. I just wish he didn't do it. But like I said, we are back. He's on TV. I will watch full NXT tomorrow just to see if any storylines is brewing up. But how he called Obafemi in the Eddy Thorpe match, I knew Corey Grace was back. And that's what NXT does. Obafemi defended his NXT title for the first time against Eddy Thorpe. Now, him being 310 pounds from Nigeria, we expect him to dominate. Let me give Eddy Thorpe his flowers. That was a hell of a performance that I saw from that match. He stayed in the match. He sold the match. He made it look like he can hang with Oba, and which means he can hang with the top stars of NXT. So this is your key heel going forward. I don't know where Ethan Page is. I don't know if he's going to go into the Royal Rumble or not, but keep this Eddy Thorpe guy. I like what I'm seeing with Eddy Thorpe. And Oba is going to be Oba. He dominated. The crowd was into it, and I like how he what they say? Brought over talent. What is the word for that?
No, transition talent?
No, when you're trying to put over talent. There you go.
Oh yeah.
I like how Obafemi put over Eddy Thorpe. Eddy Thorpe did an exceptional job last night. I enjoyed the match. Obafemi dominant, and of course, this is going to lead to him being on the Grayson Waller effect next week. Jesus. So we're definitely going to see that. So if you haven't seen the match, you need to watch it. It's on YouTube. The full match is on YouTube right now.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, that was a good match. I'm proud of what I saw from Obafemi, Eddy Thorpe, and like Corey Graves. Watch. You're going to get a new Corey Graves moving forward, and this is going to be the best Corey Graves. Now I'm going to be a little bit sad when he goes to Raw or SmackDown, because we all know what's his name? Jesus. Raw commentator, not Michael Cole. Damn. Pat McAfee. We all know Pat McAfee is probably going to leave WWE later on before college season starts. So that's when I see Corey Graves going to Raw. But trust me, I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him on NXT. That's what I say. That's what NXT does to everybody.
To be honest with you, I could see Pat leaving because of football season coming up, and also Pat's a busy guy. He does a lot. He does his own podcasting and all this, that, and the other. When he leaves, make sure y'all leave that door open and bring him back, because
he's always coming back.
Yeah, he does an amazing job, and let's not forget the man can perform if you need him to. Let's not forget what he did in WWE.
100%. They're trying to say that this was probably a angle they was working to get Corey Graves versus Pat McAfee. I said this is not an angle. He is legit pissed off, and I don't think I want to see a Corey Graves and Pat McAfee's wrestling match. Honestly, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't got time to see that. Matter of fact, I would rather see Pat McAfee versus Dominic Mysterio. Like, I can see that match happening more so. Corey Graves. I'm not ready to see Corey Graves because I love him. I love him as a commentator. I'm not saying he wasn't a good wrestler, but commentator Corey Graves, you can pencil him into the Hall of Fame real soon.